That harbor maintenance trust
Yeah.
fund, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, last year it cost us $116,000. We did get the Corps, they called us, and they were very nice about it. They said, hey, you guys got a grant, $40,000. And that's going to give you the permit. I said, well, do we get the money? They said, no, we'll keep it, and we'll just give you the permit. They've been good, they're nice to work with, but, you know, they.
Funding is troublesome, I
Yeah,
know.
well, I was up in Grand Marais, and they got a lot of funding.
Well, they got that break wall done.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
state money and they got some federal money, so that's good.
Yeah, we don't really care where it comes from.
Well, I know. So
We can put
what's
that
the
up for
major
vote.
issue here at this harbor?
Well, it's
The water
the-
level,
Yeah,
sure.
well, that's a thing, but it's the original design. So what happens is that the harbor mouth just fills right in. This spring you could walk across.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
There's a pretty good
Picture
picture.
tells
There's
us
a pretty
how
good
it
picture of
works.
what happens
yeah,
Well, you guys been dealing with this for years and years then?
forever.
every year.
This has been dredged forever,
Oh, I see, okay.
ever since it was built.
And the Corps used to do that, but now with, you know, funding and so on, they
Right.
say all of their money has to be spent on commercial harbors.
Okay, there, where am I, I'm trying to look at, that right there is,
Yeah,
right
right
there,
there.
yeah, right there, right?
Yeah, that's the outside, no, this is the outside, this is the inside.
Yeah, well, that red marker there is. All right, so then you're gonna come in through here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, it's, we're faced with this, this is the one, you have more shoreline than any other district in the country, except for Alaska, you know what I mean, so this is a major issue, only with you guys, but, throughout the district, really.
Well,
The decreasing lake levels.
you know, the State of Michigan Waterways Commission built all of these harbors. And, you know, we carry the designation of a harbor of refuge, but most of them do on
Right.
up here. And what happens is that you get into smaller communities such as us, or take Arcadia, for instance, or go on right up the shoreline, it's just hard to come up with that kind of money.
Right, absolutely.
It's not in there. And when you talk to the Corps of Engineers, they, you know, in Grand Haven, they just say, well, hey, guys, it's beyond us. We just take orders down here. You know?
Right.
So we gave them an order to dredge our harbor, but they
They
ignored
ignore
it.
that already.
So-
Well, no,
weren't high enough
you
up
know,
in
it's sort of like a regional, it's not really a Republican or Democrat thing, it's sort of a regional thing.
It's a Great Lakes thing. There's 120 harbors in the Great Lakes.
Well,
that
right,
are
right,
the
but
same
getting
boat.
people together to vote for this kind of thing, it requires the guys from the Great Lakes, it requires the guys from Louisiana, the guys from New York that have harbors.
Mhm.
You know, because the people that don't have harbors, you know, they don't care about the issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's sort of a regional, you need a regional coalition of people that get together.
Well, Congressman Camp, a couple of times, was able to get funding to the Corps, was probably a, you know, earmark.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But since that time, you know.
Well, there are no more earmarks.
Yeah.
That's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I mean, there's pros and cons of it, you know what I mean?
But seriously, what we'd like to see is the Corps of Engineers, you know, come up to their responsibility. They designed the harbor. You
They
know,
own it.
They own that breakwater and everything, and yet, every year we go through the same thing. And I feel sorry for some of the other harbors. I mean, we were able to raise $116,000 this year. No one's looking forward to that challenge next year.
Right, every year.
That's why we're backing.
So then this happens every year then?
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is
And how long has
not,
it been, there then like that?
this is, in 1968, they built it.
Okay.
And the Army Corps wanted it, and the
Right.
Coast Guard wanted it because it's Frankfurt to Charlevoix. They said, we want to build it, sold it to the township. Township said, okay, sold the idea to the township.
Right.
We want a harbor of refuge, it's going to be congressionally designated anchorage area and a harbor of refuge. Can't turn anybody away, we don't have any seasonal slips, it's all transient.
Okay.
They said, we'll build it, we'll take care of it, we'll maintain it. 2 years later, the Michigan State DNR ran it for 2 years. 2 years later, they turned it over to the township, said, you guys run it, but we will maintain dredging because on the NOAA charts, that is a designated anchorage area, and it says maintain 13-foot out 150 yards, I
Right,
think,
right, right.
all through in here. So they've drawn it on the NOAA charts, and every year sent, contracted it for the dredging. 10 years ago, the Army Corps said, we don't have the money, our budget doesn't have it. Congressman Camp managed an earmark for those years. The 2 years that we haven't had the money is 2007, when it was shouldered in, when we were working on this, and we had to do a private fundraising. Leland Harbor was allowed to match 50-50, and that was from the state DNR, waterways unit. And then last year, Congressman Camp just said, no way, Army Corps said, no way, we don't have any money. We did another fundraising, we came up with 80,000, the dredger guy said, I need 120 to really open this up.
right.
He said, I'll give you a note till the end of the season, so you can generate some revenues. That's totally unsustainable, we can't do it.
Right.
I mean, it's just no way we're gonna do that year after year. So what we're looking for is simply the fulfillment of the promise from the Army Corps originally, because now that they built it, we've improved it, we've taken care of it, we used all of our sinking fund, because that was another criteria. Always harbor of refuge, no seasonal slips, all transient, can never turn anybody away. And all of the money that we enjoy from the township has to stay in a sinking fund for harbor improvement, to
Right,
benefit the boaters that paid it. And so we've done this improvement, we got no money, we had to borrow money to get it dredged this year, and we've got an unsustainable situation that is no fault of our own.
Right, right.
And the way it was designed, this happens, the water level now is irrelevant. The water level could be 3 feet higher and this still happens, and you can't get in
Right.
on an annual basis. 1 year, we might luck out and be able to get a 2-year thing, somebody could creep in. We did that year before last, we didn't dredge at all. Last year,
Just
you
means
could
more
have
stuff.
walked across it, and you cannot get even a powerboat in, much less a sailboat.
No, this is disaster, not only for you guys, but for
Yeah.
But see, we have-
all other places across the district.
We have
That's what
the
it
local
looked like this
tribe
spring.
fishes out of here. Now, they did give us $25,000 of their 2% money, which, thank God they did. We have the ferry service to the islands. We have the national
Park.
parks here. We have the Department of Natural Resources here. And then we have a large, charter fleet here too.
And we have the historic fish town, which is a working fishing village that,
Yeah, we were thinking of selling that to get enough money to dredge. But I don't know.
Well,
No, I
does the
really
Ramp Act,
appreciate you
does the
guys-
Ramp Act address that? I mean, my understanding is there is a clause in the Ramp Act that
Right.
says, that I know is bipartisan,
Yeah.
but like you said, it's only states that have water frontage that care, right?
Right.
The Arizona and Colorado guys could go,
Well, we voted, I voted
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
promote the inclusion of the Ramp Act in that,
the transportation.
transportation.
Right.
Yeah.
So we, there's a lot more work to be
Yeah.
done. So I appreciate the opportunity to see this harbor and, see firsthand the situation you guys got here. But, I share your frustration.
Yeah, oh,
There's
I
lots of other-
understand, yeah.
Not only here, but, in like the Lake Chanel Islands there and Cedarville, they can't get into their harbor there. Down there at Onekama, that harbor of refuge they have there, is there. So there's,
Well,
it's a critical issue for northern Michigan. because
a number
you
of
got, Great
Michigan
Lakes.
harbors on Lake Huron side didn't open this year. I think Lexington was one of them, just up above Detroit a ways, and they couldn't open. They didn't have the money to dredge and.
As a
Well, I don't know.
practical way of looking at it, we recently got a grant from the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund, and so we went and sat through the whole grant process. One of the things they did was, they had big blocks of money to use to fund projects, but one of the things they did is, before they funded big projects, they funded a series of small projects which would be analogous, the amount of money that it would take to do all of the harbors in the Great Lakes region is just a small drop in the bucket compared to.
The $6 million
compared to
in that harbor
the-
maintenance trust fund.
Yeah, I mean, and the economic
No,
impact of that
believe
would
me,
be
no,
huge.
I understand.
I mean, it's the
I-
Rust Belt, it's
I
the
understand.
communities that really need renovation.
No, we've been working on it.
Well,
We got more work to do, obviously.
let
It's
us
good
know,
seeing
let us
this,
know
each
what
one of
we
these.
need to do. I mean, because we have got letter writers, we have got people that can make phone calls. We have got an active community association,
Right, right,
we've got a
good. Well,
chamber
good,
of commerce.
because we want-
We can, you know, if you let us know at what juncture we need pressure, we can make it happen.
Well, I want to be sure that you stay in communication with our office here, Kyle.
Call us,
Thank you.
call the office.
Okay.
Give us another card.
Is your home phone on there?
No, this is the Washington office here.
Congressman,
Yeah.
so I communicate quite often with Michelle, I'm assuming she's
Okay,
still in
right.
your office.
Right, right.
Who would I ask for? Who's your
Michelle.
aide that Michelle knows about this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, because, you know, we have ongoing dialogue for the diabetes stuff, but,
Right.
you know, I have her in my address book, so
Right,
she
yeah.
would be a good
Michelle would
person
be the
to,
do it. 'Cause
the
if
contact
it's not
person.
her, then I think it's probably her.
Okay.
Who deals with this issue.
or, you know, I can chat with her and just say, hey, if there's somebody else in the staff that's more up to speed.
Oh, we
on
definitely
that.
got, you know, people working on it,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that'd be good, because I'll just, if it's okay,
Absolutely,
I'll
no,
shoot,
no, that's
I'll
what I'm
shoot
here
her an
for.
email and just ask her to keep me apprised on that as
Absolutely, yeah.
well.
Yeah, she'll give you an update. as
Because
to
she's
where
really
we're
good about sending me issues, you know, health
at.
issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, please use my office any way we can.
Okay.
Any way you can, because really, I think of myself as an advocate for the district, you know, so
Yeah.
any way that we can be helpful, we will. And if you have ideas, you know, then we're happy to do it, you know, if there's grant money available, let me know, and if you see something out there, and we'll look for it too,
Okay.
you know, to make it work for you. But, you know, crucial to this is getting the Corps of Engineers funded right.
Right.
So, I mean, we've
Right.
been working on that, you know, getting the transportation bill done would be good, you know. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
for
Congressman,
having
Cal
me.
Little next to you.
Thank you. See ya. Well,
Thanks for coming to see us.
Yeah, no, my
Thanks.
privilege. Nice to see you.
I'll be in touch with some information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
I think I met you up in Dusky office.
I'm actually there for these.
Yeah, it's,
The door's got a lot of pressure.
I've been in there, I think I've seen you in there, coming to visit Michelle.
it's crazy out there.
No, yeah, just call our office and Michelle would be the one that, when she handles those issues, she would be the, you know what I mean? I would end up referring anybody to her anyway. She's our legislative director, so she's the, you know, she's
Yeah.
the best person to talk to about it.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and they have to dredge further. They go out about 130 feet past the break wall. Otherwise, speed bumps, they call them. Oh, yeah, miles, yeah. And the boat's still bottom out. All right, man, thanks a lot. Thanks for
Take them out on the break wall, right? So we're gonna cut them off on the break wall today.
What's it gonna take?
Now, if you have a legislative question, you can contact us.
So
Make sure we get
you're going to final changes the scheme.
our office number is 202.
Dr. Benishek, the rising sea level contributes